Hello everyone, welcome to Data Analysis YouTube channel. If this is your first time of stopping by the YouTube channel, please subscribe and like our content. You can also share the contents with others so that they can benefit. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back. For this particular lesson, we will be going through all the icons in the numbers section of the Home tab. Before we delve into that, I would like to take us through how to zoom in and zoom out on a Microsoft Excel spreadsheet so that we can view the information that we have on the spreadsheet as we would like to view it. So to zoom in and to zoom out, you see the bottom right of your page and you can see an icon minus. It's a minus sign and it says zoom out. And you will see another sign which is the plus sign and it is zoom in. And then you can see this bar where you can actually drag in or out as you deem fit. But you will see another symbol. You will see a number expressed as a percentage showing you the zoom level. So you can click this to open the dialog box. In the nice dialog box that you can see, you see the level of magnification. So you see different options, 200% down to 25%. You can also select fit selection. So let us just try to select 75% and see what this looks like. Whoa, this is really small. So this is what you see when you select 75%. You can also customize just in case you want to select a percentage level that is not displayed here. So I am going to select custom and I will type 150 and select OK. So this is what we have. It is more visible than when it was 75%. So let us get started. To get started, I am going to start with column C, which has the amount. So we have column A, which is date, column B, description, column C is the amount, column D is called code, right? So I will start with column C, which is the amount. And so we can see one of the icons in the number section, which says accounting number format. And also, to highlight an entire column, you just need to take your cursor above that column and you select that column. So you have selected all the column from right from the top to wherever the column ends. So you have selected everything. And after selecting the column, you can begin to select whichever icons you want to use to operate on that column. So we want to start with the accounting number format. We want to start with the currencies. And by selecting the dollar sign, we can see that the currency for this particular column has changed to the dollar. And selecting the drop down, we can see other currencies. So you see the British pounds, you see the euro, you see the Chinese currency, which is the Chinese yuan. You see also the French currency, all right? And then selecting, you have even more accounting formats. So opening more accounting formats, you see this nice dialog box. And then the sample says amount. The decimal places is 2. We will come to this in a bit. And the symbol is the dollar. So by clicking on the drop down button, you can see a lot of other currencies. Okay, so we will see the other currency, so you can select the one that applies to you. We see Hausa, Ibibio, which is Nigeria. You see Edo, we see Fula, which is Nigeria as well. Kanuri is Nigeria, Yoruba, and the symbol we see in front of it is the Naira symbol, the Nigerian Naira symbol. I am going to select this one that says Ibibio Nigeria, and I select OK. And then we have the Naira symbol showing in front of the amount. When we go back to this so that we can see, we will even see more options where the currencies are expressed as an abbreviation. So the Nigerian Naira is usually expressed as NGN, and it is arranged in alphabetical order. So NGN, this is it. And by selecting this, we have this. So this is beautiful. We go to the next icon, which is percent style. By selecting this icon, your numbers are represented as a percentage, as you deem fit, right? So I am just going to select the undo button, and it goes back to what we had before. The next icon is the comma style. By selecting this icon, so you remember that you first of all select the column you want to work on, or you select the row as the case may be, or you select a particular cell. But most importantly, what you want to work on has to be selected. So you select the entire column, and I select the comma sign, and we have seen commas in all the information that is in column C. The next icon says increase decimal and decrease decimal. So this increases the decimal places or decreases as the case may be. So we choose the increase decimal to see what happens, and this is what happens. So you can keep increasing it as you deem fit. But then I wanted us to see this. As we increase the number of decimal places, we have seen that we cannot see the information on the spreadsheet any longer, and we can only see the asterisk. Sorry, not the asterisk. We can only see the hashtag symbol on the spreadsheet. And the reason for this is because the information in that cell is more than the cell can contain. So how we can resolve this is you expand the column width. So you take your cursor, you hover between the boundary of column C and D, and when you have this symbol that we have, press down and then you drag so that you can expand the column width. And then you have the information nicely displayed. So let us try to decrease decimal places. And this is what I am doing to decrease the decimal places. So let us keep it at 2 decimal places only. I am adjusting the column width also. And so we will go over to column A, which is date. For column A, which shows you the date, when you see of course, you're seeing the nice box that has date in it, and we see the drop down button. By clicking on the drop down, by selecting the drop down button, we see other options. So you see these options: general, number, currency, accounting, short date, and long date. So this particular date is represented as short date. It's already in the format of short date. But let us see, by selecting long date, what do we have? Now we also have this situation where we cannot see the information. Like I mentioned earlier, the information in the cell is more than the cell can contain. So you just hover and you try to expand the cell width so that you can, the column width rather, so that you can see the information in the column. By expanding it, this is what we have. So by selecting long date, you have the day, you have the date, the month, and the year, all expressed fully. This is the long date. Indeed, this is really long. And then we go to more number formats because Excel has other formats of dates that you can choose. It depends on what you want, right? So let us see what this would look like. This is the format that we are selecting, and we go to OK. So let us see what we will have. This is what we have. This is how the date is represented. So in case you are not comfortable with the date format that Excel has given to you by default, you can come to this particular option and you go to the drop down bar so that you can select how you want your date to be represented. If you want the date, of course, to come before the month, you can make the selection. If you want the month to come before the date, you can also make the selection, just like I mentioned, as you deem fit. You can make the selection as you want. Now we go to column B. So I haven't mentioned column B much because column B is represented as text. So all the information we have in the description column are all text. Transportation expenses, electricity, security, etc. They're all text, right? And most of the icons in the number section of the home tab can only be applicable to numbers and not to text. So this is why we haven't mentioned column B a lot, because we cannot do a lot with column B considering the functions that we have in the number section of the home tab. And we will try out some. So I have selected column B, and let me try to put percentage. And this is what we have. Nothing has changed. Let us try to select a currency. This is what we have. Nothing has changed. Let us try to put comma. Nothing has changed as well. Let us try to increase decimal places. Of course, we cannot even increase or decrease decimal places because texts are not in decimal places, right? So this is why we haven't mentioned a lot of column B. And this is really important to state because sometimes you can have text and also you can have numbers on the same file. So I just did something now, and what I've done is that the information in column D, which is code, the column D is named code in this particular tutorial. The information that we have in column D, let me undo what was there. Let us go back to what we had. So of course, these are numbers because like we have seen, they are also expressed in two decimal places. But numbers can be converted to text. So even when they show as numbers, the format in Excel will be text. And let us see how this can be done. So you having highlight the entire column and select the drop down that you have here, and then you select text. So this is what we have. All the information in column D have been expressed as text. And when you select any of the cell in column D, what you see in this nice looking bar, which shows you the format of the information, it says text. If I select another cell in column C, it says accounting. So the format of information in column C is in accounting format. If I select any cell in column A, the format of information in column A is in date, and this is what we have, date. Okay, so for column B, even if the format shows accounting, we still have limitations. Of course, you cannot have decimal places where you have alphabet. You cannot have decimal places. Okay, so we go to column D, which is the column of interest. And we can see that the information is represented as text. And let us see if we can apply most of the functions that we have here. By applying the percent style, we have automatically converted it from text to numbers, and then the percentage can be applied to it. So this is what we have. I'm going to select the undo button and we go along with it. So I would do something right now, add apostrophe, select that, and this is what Excel tells me. So sometimes you can have a set of data downloaded, and because of how the data was entered right from the beginning, you can have your numbers showing as text, or there is an apostrophe sign that was included before the numbers were entered. So when you have this kind of situation, I'm going to do for only these 3 cells. When we have this kind of situation, Microsoft Excel is going to give us an alert to say that the number in this cell is formatted as text or preceded by an apostrophe. So you have options. We see this caution sign coming up, and of course we have seen a symbol we haven't seen before, which is the small green triangle on the top left of each of the cell where I have added the apostrophe sign to the numbers. I'm going to highlight all 3 of them at the same time, and then I am selecting the drop down just by the caution sign, and then it says this number is stored as text. And this is because Excel gave 2 options. It is either it is stored as text or it is stored with an apostrophe, which the second option is the case. And then we have this option that says convert to number. But before we do this, let us see, can we apply some of these functions to this data the way it is represented with the apostrophe sign? Let us see this. So I will start with the percentage. So I have selected the percentage and it's not working. And let me try with the currency. It's not working as well. And it's because of the apostrophe sign. And let me try with the comma is not working as well. The increase and decrease decimal is not working as well. And this is because of the apostrophe sign that we have. So Excel is saying, caution, there is something else you need to note about this data so that you can correct this. So I select the drop down, and then I have options: convert to number, help on this error, ignore error, error checking option. So I'm going to select convert to number. So the information that were stored with an apostrophe sign that was preventing me from formatting the numbers using those functions, I have now converted this information back to number. And then I can do all the things I could not do before, like the percentage, adding the dollar sign, putting the commas, increasing the number of decimal places, and reducing the number of decimal places, as the case may be. So this is all we have for this particular tutorial. Thank you for staying up to this point. And in our next tutorial, sorry about that, in our next tutorial, we will go to conditional formatting. So we will talk about all the icons in the styles section of the home tab, which is going to be conditional formatting. We will talk about how to set rules so that when you enter information in Microsoft Excel, you can detect duplicates, for example, and we have so many other rules that we can set. We will also talk about formatting table. We will also talk about formatting, having different cell styles. So it's going to be interesting. I would like to see you next time. So Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for liking the content, and thank you for sharing with other people so that they can benefit from the channel. See you next time.